Yiddish Liedl, a kein of the Yiddish Liedl. A Yiddish Liedl, wo sot in sich Feier im Flamm. A Yiddish Liedl, a kein of the Yiddish Liedl. Singt sich pushet nur so doch tausend Tam. Dus Liedl hot, a Trerl in is Freilich. Hat getreist dem Jiden in sein Bein. A little fin, bas mal kein ben Melech. Finne wuss es is amol gewein, in wuss wird sein. Wenn ich hör die schöne Klangen, alte jüdische Gesangen, mag ihr sein wie treurig in wie mit, wird mir auf dem Herzen freilich, fühl sich wie ich wollt sein am Melech. Weil es mir, wenn ich a Yiddish Lied. A Yiddish Liedl, a kein of the Yiddish Liedl. A Yiddish Liedl, was hat in sich Feier im Flamm. A Yiddish Liedl, a kein of the Yiddish Liedl. Singt sich pushet nur so doch tausend Tam. Dus Liedl hot, hat Rerl in is Freilich. Hat getreist dem Jiden in sein Bein. A little Wien, was mal kein ben Melech. Finne wuss es is amol gewein, in wuss wird sein. Hot, a Trerl in is Freilich. Hat getreist dem Jiden in sein Bein. A little fin, was Malkin ben Melech. Finne wuss es is amol gewein, en wuss wird sein.
Okay, so Marie, do you want to start reading the English, please?
Let me make it bigger so I can see it.
Okay.
Okay. Henry Gero Heinrich Roisman was born in Rovno, Poland in 1919. He performed on stage as a child, starting at age 12, singing and playing the violin. He later studied medicine in Switzerland and drama in Kiev. He briefly lived in Paris. He settled in Argentina and married Rosita Longner, with whom he often performed all over the world. She was born in Warsaw, but had immigrated to Buenos Aires as a child. We have listened to 4 of his songs: Der Kollemeyer Badkin, the Badkin of Kolomay, Gefilte Fish, Alles für Geld, Everything for Money, and Yiddische Nissim, Jewish Miracles. He died in Buenos Aires in 1980. Here he sings a Yiddish Liedl, a little Jewish song. The music and lyrics are his. It probably should be Yiddish Nisim, right?
Yeah, Nisim.
Nisim, yeah.
Yeah, it's a Hebrew word. Nisim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was pronouncing it what I thought was Yiddish, but
It's a Hebrew word. Okay, so Masha, you think you can start reading? I know I haven't sent you, but I couldn't send from here, but try it, okay?
A Yiddish Liedl, Heim the Chemedik Yiddish Liedl, Yiddish Liedl, was hat in sich Feuer und Flamme. Yiddish Liedl, Henedick, Yiddish Liedl, es sind sich Quatsch, no,
Push it.
push it, nur es hat doch nicht
Toisend.
a toisen tem.
Tam, yeah. Good. You can translate it or Maurice will do it.
I
Up to
don't,
you.
but I'll try, but I don't think I'll do it. Maybe Maurice better do it.
Okay. Next time I will send to you, just, Okay, Maurice, please.
Yiddish Liedl, a kind of the Yiddish Liedl, a Yiddish song, a charming little Yiddish song. A Yiddish Liedl was hat in sich Feuer und Flamme. A Yiddish song that has in it fire and passion, let's say Flamme. A Yiddish Liedl, a kind of the Yiddish Liedl. Jewish song, charming little song. Es singt sich pushet, no es hat doch tausend tam. It's simple, pushet is simple, and still it has in it 1,000 flavors.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Michael, since you are here once in a while, can you read it, please?
Okay, you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Das Liedl hat a Trero und es ist freilich. Es hat getreist dem Jeden in sein Pein. A Liedl von Bas Malka und Ben Melech, von was es ist amol gewesen und was wird sein. So, those a trero would that be like a tear or
Yes.
Yeah.
something sad? Okay.
Yeah.
So the song has a tear, but it's and it's happy, and it's also happy, I would say. It's what's getraced?
Consoled.
Okay, so it consoled the Jews. Okay, it consoled the Jew in his pain would be like pain or misery.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. A song about princes or a song about a prince and a princess, or a princess and a prince.
Yeah.
About what has been in the past and what will be.
Good.
Yep. Yeah. Okay, thanks. Let's continue. Okay, Steve, can you continue?
Wenn ich höre die schöne Klangen, alte jiddische Gesangen, mag ich sein wie treurig und wie Mied, wird mir öffnen Herzen freilich, ich will sich, ich wald sein am Melech, weil is mir, wenn ich her jiddische Lied. When I hear the pretty, would Klangen be voices?
Could be voices or sounds.
Of sounds, okay. When I hear the beautiful sounds of old Jewish singing, I'm sad and tired. Meat is tired.
Yeah, tired. It's even if I may be sad and I may.
Oh, even
be
if I'm
tired.
sad, I see. Even if I'm
Right.
sad and tired, I become my heart becomes freilich.
Good.
I'm full. And I would be a king. What's voil? I can't remember what voil is.
It's good. I feel good.
Okay. Voil is I feel good. You said
Well, voil by itself means good.
good.
Well,
Okay. Okay. Good I am when I hear a Yiddish song.
good.
Can I ask, what is Meg?
I may be sad and I may be tired, but when I hear a Yiddish song, you know,
Okay, so
My
I see.
heart's in Freilich.
right.
Yeah. Okay, so Refoel and then Rochelle. Refoel, please.
Yes, in the line before the last one, there's a bit of a missing word. He's saying, Ich will sich wie ich wollte sein am Melech. And that makes a lot better sense. I feel as if I would be a king.
King.
The word V should be
V.
there in the third
I see.
position.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Rochelle?
I'm having trouble with my with the video. Can you see me?
No, we
No.
cannot see you. We can
Yeah.
hear you. We can hear
Okay.
you, but not see you.
I don't know what the problem is. Last week there was an echo. Okay, keep going. I'll see if I can solve
Okay,
it.
so-
If not, I'm here.
Okay, but we can hear you, so
Okay.
that's not the problem. Okay, okay, Rochelle. So next one, Michael. Okay, Bonnie, can you read it? I think we translated it, but just to read it, can you?
Okay. Yeah. A Yiddish Liedl. Hanavdik Yiddish Liedl. A Yiddish Liedl was hat in sich Feier und Flam. A Yiddish Liedl Hanavdik.
It's
Yiddish.
Chenevdik.
Is that Hanavdik?
Chenevdik.
Yiddish Liedl es singt sich
Right.
Pushet nur es hat doch zwei Toisen
Yes.
Tam.
Toys and
Tom,
Tom.
Toys and Tom.
Okay. Okay.
Tom
And
is even
Tom.
though that's how it's spelled. Tom.
Right.
Yeah.
Tom.
Okay. So we already translated it. So, okay. So Henrietta, will you read it? It's also, we already translated it, but just to read it, please.
Das Liedl hat a Trailer und Sis Freilach. Es hat getreuet das Jeden in
Getreu.
sein Pein. A Liedl von Beis Medrash.
Bas Melke.
No,
Bas
Beis, say that?
Bas Malke.
Bas Malke und Bein
Ben Melech.
Ben Beidel. Von was es ist, amol gewein und was wird sein.
Good.
Okay. Thank you. Let's listen to it once again.
A Yiddish Liedl, a kein of the Yiddish Liedl, a Yiddish Liedl, wo sot in sich Feier im Flamm. A Yiddish Liedl, lachein auf die Yiddish Liedl. Es singt sich pushet nur es so doch tausend Tam. Dus Liedl hat a Trerl in is Freilich. Es hat getreist dem Jiden in sein Bein. A little fin, bas mal kein ben Meilig. Finne wuss es is amol geweinen, wuss wird sein. Wenn ich hör die schöne Klangen, alte jüdische Gesangen, mag ihr sein wie treurig in wie mich, wird mir auf dem Herzen freilich, ich fühl sich wie ich wollt sein am Meiler. Weil es mir, wenn ich a Yiddish lied. A Yiddish Liedl, a kein auf die Yiddish Liedl. A Yiddish Liedl, was hat in sich Feier im Flamm. A Yiddish Liedl, a kein auf die Yiddish Liedl. Es singt sich pushet nur es so doch tausend Tam. Dus Liedl hat Trerl in is Freilich. Es hat getreist dem Jiden in sein Bein. A little bin, was mal kein ben Meiler. Finne wuss es is amol geweinen, wuss wird sein. A Trerl in is Freilich. Es hat getreist dem Jiden in sein Bein. A little fin, was Malkin ben Meiler. Finne wuss es is amol geweinen, wuss wird sein.
Okay. So, yeah, Steve.
Yeah, I just a question about maybe Raphael or Maurice can answer this. The line that I translated, which was Alte Yiddish gesungen, Alte Yiddish gesungen. I'm not understanding why there's a past participle there. Am I misreading it or?
You are all muted, so when you talk, unmute yourself, okay? Raphael, yeah.
Yeah, it's not gesungen, it's more like a gesangen. I don't have it in front of me, but
Yeah.
gesang, here the g is not a mark of a participle. It's a collective prefix. So collection of songs, gesang. So gesangen just means songs.
Thank you.
Okay? Okay, guys, remember, you were muted for the song, so if you want to talk, unmute yourself. Cookie, you are muted, Cookie, yeah. Yes. No. You're still muted. You cannot unmute yourself?
Cookie, you should have a pop-up on your window now that's.
I got it now.
There we go.
You hear me now?
Yes.
I just wanted to mention that Max Epstein, Alba Shalom, of the Epstein brothers, if you remember them, they were a Yiddish orchestra. They traveled all over the world. He wrote a song so similar to this called Chavlib a Yiddish Liederler. And I sing it in every show. It's a beautiful, beautiful song. And similar to this idea of if I'm sad or something, all I have to hear is a Yiddish song. And one day you'll let me sing it, then you'll enjoy it.
Yeah,
A
one
lovely,
day.
lovely tune. I don't know if it was ever published, but it's a lovely tune.
Okay, thank you, Cookie. Beverly.
So the word viol or viola that you say, whenever my mother would talk about somebody saying something not so nice, she'd say, "Oh, this is Gavena Viola." She was a good person. So my sister and I continued that. And if we would talk about someone, we'd always say, but she was a Viola. She was a good person. Underneath, it's really a Viola. I still remember that word.
Any more comments, question? I see Marsha. Yeah, Marsha, yeah.
Boiler Mensch.
A Voilenmensch, yeah.
Violence, right.
And Rochelle? Rochelle, I see your hand. Rochelle?
Yeah,
could...
Avoila Yacht from the song Papyrossen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this
Yeah,
too.
that's right, yeah.
Okay, and Morty, you have another
Yeah,
version of Voile?
in some of the Yiddish literature, especially Grade and some others, the expression Voile Jungen referred to young gangsters, young gang members.
Okay.
Ironic.
Yeah, but they were Voile. So, yeah. Okay, so if we finish with the song, so let's go back to Jente Tinofotsky, the woman from Argentina that is complaining and complaining and complaining that her neighbors are getting, exactly what she is getting. If she buys a coat, they buy a coat. If she buys furniture, she buys furnitures, and so on. So we were in the middle of a monologue of complaining, basically complaining. Anyway, but Susan said that she has some comments about it. So Susan, before we start reading, please.
Okay, something to do with the Mexican connection of the story. As we know already, Polanco is a very fancy neighborhood, but there are plenty of Jews now. And another neighborhood which is going to be mentioned as we read is Jesus Maria, which translates to Jesus Mary neighborhood. And that's the name of the neighborhood, but that's a working class neighborhood, which the Jews probably lived there at some time. They no longer live there. And that's where the synagogue Nidchei Yisrael that we talked about, that has become a historical site, is located in the Jesus Maria neighborhood, which is different than the fancy Polanco neighborhood where the star of our story lives. And
yeah, but she probably before she lived in the Jesus Maria, yeah.
It could very well be. And I think another thing, well, there's Polanco, which is the name of the neighborhood, but occasionally she uses in quotes Polaka, which sounds something like Polanco, but has nothing. It in reality has nothing to do with it. Polanco is Spanish name of a neighborhood, and Polaka is a Jews in Mexico were not called Jews per se. They were called Polacos, Poles, or Russos, Russians. And so when she is quoting and mentions a Polaka, she herself would just be dismissed as a Polaka by non-Jews, as a Polish woman. And I don't know whether she's making a joke there with Polaka and Polanco, the neighborhood. So that's my thought for the day.
Okay, thank you. That adds another depth to the story. Okay, Morty.
Yes, when I was reading the story, I'm following what Susan says. It's interesting because in Lima, the second neighborhood where the Jews came after immigrating and going to the lower level neighborhoods was also called Jesus Maria. And that's where we lived, in that area in Lima, after my grandfather worked himself and got things better, and we all moved to Jesus Maria from the other neighborhood. So it's a
Okay.
common name in Latin American countries as names of neighborhoods.
Two famous Jews.
Two famous Jews, yes. Okay, thank you. Okay, Morty, start reading. It's from Nu, kann man euch halten?
Nu, kann man euch halten, huh? So, can we bear it? Kauf ich a tapet. I purchased a carpet. A teppich for 8,000 pesos. A carpet for 8,000 pesos. Bei uns in Städtel is a viele der größte Scherare. In our Städtel, in our little village, it's even more the biggest. I'm not sure what Scherare means.
I see that Refoil raised his hand, maybe he knows.
It's Sorora with a sin, not a shin,
Sorora.
and it means prince, or in this
Yes.
case, queen,
Okay.
or noble woman.
Okay, noble.
No, in Hebrew, it means the one in power, people in power.
Okay.
So I
Like
don't
Tsar.
know. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Just a moment. I see also Bonnie, and then we'll continue. Bonnie.
Can you show exactly?
Bonnie, you're muted. You're still muted, Bonnie.
Okay, so I'm looking for the cursor because I don't know where we are on the page.
Okay, we are on the
Here,
second.
right here, right here.
Okay, okay. So, Morty.
Oh,
So,
sorry. Here, we're right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on, Morty.
So, in our small village, not even the biggest rich person or powerful person, nicht gegangen auf Haza, teuren Teppich, would not go and buy such an expensive carpet. Se geht sich etwas so still, it is such a thing, it goes very quietly, weich, soft, wie auf a Buchen Überbett, wie a what do you call it?
Down.
Downy.
Like a down cover on a bed. Wie euch perine, also like a shawl. Ihr seht etwas am Maven auf Teppichen. Are you a knowledgeable person about carpets? Chinesischer Teppich is Buchke. A Chinese carpet is very soft, dicklich, thick, weich wie a Kneidl, soft like a Kneidl, und a persischer Teppich, and a Persian carpet is steif wie an ausgebackten, pesachdicken Chremsel. A Persian carpet is hard, like overcooked, overbaked Chremsel for Passover. Bei uns in Städtel hat man alle Freitag genommen a Lopete. In our small village, every Friday you would go and take a lamp and
what?
a riddle in a rub genommen die Blotte von der Podloge and would take out the mud from the floor and ausgeschüttet mit Samt and throw over it sand. Und du geht man auf Tapetes. And here you go with carpets. Azamechai, such a
Okay.
wonderful thing.
Okay, Morty, just a moment. Alopote is not what you said. So,
Not a lamp?
no.
Not lamp.
I know to say it in Hebrew, the et
Shovel.
chafira.
A
It's a
shovel.
shovel. A
Shovel.
shovel. A
That's what
shovel.
I meant, a shovel,
A
not a
shovel.
lamp.
Yeah. Okay, so just
I
a
was
moment.
translating from, I was talking in Spanish, sorry.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, and I was thinking in Hebrew. Repoel, that's what you wanted to say or something else?
Yeah, lopata and a riddle both mean a shovel or a small shovel.
A small shovel, yeah. Okay. And Bonnie, your hand is up from last time or something new? Bob?
What is perina? Perina? Perina?
Perine.
Perine.
And it is?
Perine is puch.
He's asking what it is, Susan.
It's a quilt, a quilt.
A quilt. A
Some-
comfort.
I think another word for that is ibelbet. Some people
It's a feather bed, feathers.
Feather or down.
Is a
Yeah.
quilt, is a stuffed quilt.
It's what we call a comforter.
Or a duvet.
Or a duvet, yeah. Elaine?
The line Arupgenommen die Blotte von der Podloge. The Blotte is mud.
Yes.
Blotte is mud. Yes.
And what's Podloga?
Podloga is a Polish word that means floor.
Oh, okay. Okay.
What's the Yiddish
what's
word?
the Yiddish
What's the
word?
Dill, D-I-L.
That's right. Okay. That's why. Okay. Und ausgeschüttet mit Sand and threw in some sand. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Thank you.
Morty, go in a little bit more, Morty.
Okay. Nu, wo's meint ihr? So, what do you think? Läuft mein Schreine in kauft zwei Teppiche. My neighbor runs and goes and buys 2 carpets. A chinesischen in a persischen, a Chinese one and a Persian one for 10,000 pesos, for 10,000 pesos. Kauf ich mir a Hanglamp, I go and buy a chandelier for the Salle, for the living room, for 6,000 pesos, for 6,000 pesos. Sehe ich bald derselbe Lamp in an anderen Salle. I see the same lamp in another living room. Nu, kämen nicht krank werden von Verdross. So, don't you think that we can get sick of being so upset?
Okay, thank you, Morty. Thank you. I see that Marsha and then Rochelle. Marsha?
Perina is stuffed with feathers. It's a quilt stuffed with feathers.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes. Rochelle?
Just a joke. Today she would be called an influencer.
Okay.
It's a feather bed.
Yeah.
No, today we call her a material girl.
What
is verdress?
Verdross.
Aggravation.
Verdross, very upset.
Okay. Barbara, can you
Brogues.
Oh, let me see.
That's okay. Try. Yeah.
Where are we? Der Fahr?
Yes.
Okay. Der Fahr, aber gehe ich sich losen machen und sah. So therefore, I'm going, I'm doing that. Is that what that means? So what is the expression? Gehe ich sich losen machen?
I am going to let myself do it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm allowing myself
I'm
to do
going
it.
to
Okay.
do it. I'm going
Yeah.
to do it.
Thank you. A lamp for the Salle, a lamp for the living room. As you know, I'm blocking. I don't see this word because it's blocking.
Yeah, hold on.
I'm using the screen. Okay, so I don't know that word. Wird mir nicht können noch machen.
It's keiner. Als keiner wird mir nicht können noch machen.
Us is, I'm not,
You don't see the keiner?
no. Yeah, maybe somebody else could read because I don't have my printed, and so it's hard for me.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay,
thank
no
you for
problem.
asking me though.
No,
Yeah.
no problem. Beverly, can you read?
Yes, but I'm not sure where we are. Der
Uh,
Vater,
Second line.
The second line.
keiner wird mir nicht können nachmachen. So nobody, did you do the first line, Barbara?
Do it
Yeah, we
again.
did the first line, yes.
So nobody will be able to do what I,
Yeah,
nachmachen.
copy me.
Will copy me, will copy me.
Yeah, copy me.
Ihr seht, you see, a so großen kehligen gerandel. Oh yeah, I don't know what that is.
A gerande, no.
What's a kehlige?
Heilige is round.
What?
Round.
Round. Oh, round.
Round. And then a
Kyla,
gerande is
right.
what comes from the ceiling. How do you call it in English?
Chandelier.
A chandelier. A chandelier.
It's almost a cognate. Gerandel, chandelier. I don't know. It's sort of almost a
Oh, it
cognate.
means chandelier. Was soll vernehmen a halben Soffit, which is good, takes half of the ceiling.
Yes.
Is Soffit ceiling?
Yes,
That's,
yes.
that's a
Soffit is
Hebrew
ceiling.
word. Otazoy,
No,
so,
it's not Hebrew. No Hebrew. No, Yiddish.
Really?
Yeah, it's Yiddish.
Soffit? I thought it was a Hebrew word.
Soffit, no.
It almost sounds like soffit, doesn't it?
Nah,
Did you say stuff at the ceiling?
Yes.
I thought Celia. I celia was ceiling.
Yes,
Soffit is also ceiling.
Two words. Otazoy. Now that's how it is. Von reinem Kristall, from clean crystal.
Pure.
Yes. Pure.
Pure
crystal.
Pure crystal.
Oh, pure crystal. Mit der Sach geschliffene.
Yes.
Islach, arum, with a lot of little glassware around and around the
Polished glass.
Polished.
The Stephanie is polished.
Polished little glass
Faceted?
around. What?
Geschliffene is polished.
Polished or faceted?
So what she say that she's going to order a round chandelier that will take place of half of the ceiling, and it will be for pure crystal with a lot of polished glass around and around.
Jente Tinefatsky kann sich verginnen? Oh, yeah.
Yes, verginnen.
Oh. That lady, she can treat herself. I don't know how else you can translate that. Her name is Jente Tinefatsky, and
she can afford herself. She can afford.
Verginnen is to treat yourself, right?
Yes, yes. To give yourself pleasure.
It's so funny. So funny. Und von mein eigenem Schlamazel, and from my own, how do you say? Fool, der Mann meinem, my husband, meint ihr, hab ich nicht kein Suches mit Herzwete? You think I don't have trouble and heart problems for my husband?
Beverly, where did you go? Beverly?
She went to buy a chandelier.
Did she go to Jesus Maria or Polanco?
She went to Poland.
This happens to me every week. I get cut off in the middle. I lose.
Okay.
So you want to? Where am I? I don't even know.
Otfaltim.
Otfaltim ein anaya shemakolenu in Kaparai. Now something else is going to come into his head. Her husband. Will sich kaufen a große Yiddische Bibliothek. he wants to buy himself a big Jewish library. The größte, the biggest Jewish library, Yiddish Bibliothek, in Mexico, the biggest in Mexico. Azat Einfall Gar, it felt something like this fell into his head.
Okay, Beverly, just a moment. Guys, do you know what is Shema Koleinu? Is it has something specific?
Yes, it's the prayer. It said, I believe, High Holidays, Rosh Hashanah.
Not only, no, sorry, Barbara, if I may
Okay.
interject.
Yes.
It's sorry, it is a prayer, but it's included in the Amida.
Yeah.
And it said there are several. Shema Koleinu is one of the prayers in the high holidays, but it's also one of the sections of the Amida that you say 3 times a day in Shul.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Beverly. Rafael, will you, I see before you start reading, I see that Luisa raised her hand. Luisa?
Yeah, I have a question. In that particular context, the Shema Koleinu, what does it mean exactly? Does it mean the part of the prayer? Or how do you translate that, Morty?
I think it means a silly thing. All of a sudden he wants to have, a huge library. It's just like a silly thing.
Well, it means hear our voices, right?
No, it's a request. It's a request, another request. Because
the prayer in the Amida, what it says is it asks for God to listen to our prayers.
Right, exactly. So I think that is the context. You're right.
That is the context. So in this case, it means that he got a new idea, a new request.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you. Now
some new request came into his head.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
Now it's clear. Thank you. Rafael, will you continue?
Yeah, one other possible meaning of Shema Koleinu, I haven't seen it like this before, but another guess is just a new version of Shema Koleinu. We already have 2. We've got the one from the Daily Amida, we've got the one from the High Holidays. So maybe he comes up with another version of Shema Koleinu. I don't know. That's another possibility.
That makes sense too.
Okay, so Vinkl voice.
Yes, a new one. It's a new one. It's not the old one of the old meanings. It's a new Shema Koleinu.
Okay.
Right. Vinkl heißt im alle meine böse Geleimes. All of my terrible nightmares. Now Vinkl ois. I'm not quite sure how to translate ois Vinkl in there.
It's not to clean the pears, like cleaning the pears, cleaning.
Vinkl is to sift. So I'm sifting out maybe all of my pouring on his head all of my nightmares. Meshuga tzachasodea. Are you crazy? Or are you out of your mind? A bibliothek in mittendrinnen? A library right in the middle of everything? Wer mir bibliothek? What? Now wer mir, literally who to me, but it means what do I need a bibliothek? Was mir a bibliothek? What sort of a bibliothek? The Leyen Steppes Asach Yiddish Bicher? Are you actually reading a lot of Jewish books? Hast Zeit, da reinzugucken in a Yiddish book? Do you even have time to glance into a Jewish book? Bist doch ständig vernommen. You're always preoccupied. A ganzen Tag bist du busy, sure. A ganzen Tag bist du in Geschäft. All day long, you're at the business. A Nacht habst du rein Pokerl. And at night, you have a hand of poker. Sonntag fährst du auf Datsche. On Sundays, you go into the cottage in the country. Und die Kinder nehmen doch nicht in der Hand daran ein Yiddish book. And even the children don't ever take a Jewish book into their hands. Was darfst du a papierene Matzeva in Stube rein? So what do you need this paper tombstone in your house? Seht ihr, anstatt der Bibliothek kauf ich mir gleicher a bissel Silber in Stube rein. So you see, that instead of a library, I'm going to buy more reasonably a little bit of silver for my house. Jente Tinapotski hat Seichel Kop. Wodien? Kop. She's referring to herself. Her name must be Jente Tinapotski. Jente Tinapotski, she's got a wise head. What? Don't you think so? Really a head. Amol, nicht eingedacht. In dem kleinen, reuschig-dick, blottigen Städtel, once upon a time, we shouldn't even have to think about it anymore. In that small, dark, muddy village, is bei uns in Stub gewesen 4 Meschene Leichter. We had 4 brass candlesticks at home, mit a kupernem Rondel, with a copper, was that a base? I'm not, what is it?
Rim.
Okay, with
copper
rim. A fan zu kochen fish. And we had just a pan for cooking fish. Habe ich alle Freitag gedarft scheieren, reiben und putzen die Leichter Lekovat Shabbos. Every Friday, I had to scrub and rub and clean the candlesticks in honor of Shabbos. Habe so stark mekane gewen, die was haben gehabt silberne Leichter. I was so envious of those who had silver candlesticks. Heint habe ich alles von Silber, but now I've got everything made of silver. Habe ich lieb silberne Sachen. Oh boy, do I love silver things. Habe silberne Tats, a grobe. I've got a silver serving plate, a thick one. Ota zoi die greb. It's this thick. Rosette, you see? Sie wiegt 8 kilo. It weighs 8 kilos. Call it 20 pounds. A silbernem Chinik. I have a silver Chinik teapot.
Teapot.
Krieglich, Teplech, Leffel, Messer, Goppel. So flasks and pots and spoons and knives and forks. Alles von Silber. Von reinem Silber. It's everything silver. It's pure silver. Auf alle Schenklich, auf dem Buffet, auf der Kommode steht angestellt Silberwerk. On all of my shelves, on the countertop, on the side table, there is silver material, silverware, but silver wares standing.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Rafael. Thank you. Karen, will you continue?
Es ist Machaya zu gucken auf so viel silberne Sachen. It's such a pleasure, a delight to look at all the silver things. Split shines. It sparkles and shines. Sleich von alle Seiten and glows, illuminates from all sides. A bibliothek will gore. He really wants a library. Silver, was mehr silver, increasingly more silver. Ich will euch äußern, Asod. I want to let you in on a secret. Soll derweil bleiben zwischen uns. For the time being, it will remain between us. Es kann doch schon bald in der Colonia Polacco. It's soon in the colony, and I don't know what Polacco means because it's not Polanco.
Polacca is Jewish, but it comes from the word Polish. That's what the the Goyim would have called the Jews in Mexico, Polacos.
Thank you. The Polish colony, Jewish colony. Euch nicht wollen. Us, also not living.
Yeah, so
Not sure what
so
that means.
soon we will not be able to live in that colony.
Thank you.
Okay, so just a moment before you continue, Michael, yes?
So in Mexico, a colonia is a neighborhood.
Yeah.
So River Oaks would be a colonia.
Right.
Okay. Okay, thanks. Go on, go on.
Hert umishna ashena maisa. Listen intently to a pretty story, nor a kurta, but a short one. Ga mir azoi in der Kocha Miner. I'm I'm sorry. For mir azoi in der Kocha Miner. I'm riding in my car. Der sehe ich etwas bekannte Freu. I notice an acquaintance, a woman. Stell ich sich ab und gehe zu ihr zu mit a breiten Hallo. And I stop and I go to give her a hearty hello. Buenos.
What was that? Brighton Halle?
Hello. Buenos tardes.
A hearty hello.
Huh?
A hearty hello. She's going to say hello to her.
Brayton, a broad-hearted hello. Buenas tardes. Good afternoon. Was macht ihr, Senora? How are you, madam? Ihr kennt mich nicht. You don't recognize me. Guckt sie mich an a bissel. She looks at me for a little bit. Betracht mich von alle Seiten. She considers me from all sides. Und gibt a patch and claps mit beide Hand, with both hands. Oi weh is mir. Ihr seid doch, dacht sich mir, Senora Tini. Oh, yes, woe is me. I think that you are Senora Tinif Atski. Help ich ihr arois. Let me help you. Tini Fatsky. Ich bin Senora Tinifatsky. So she's helping by pronouncing her name to the woman. Sag sie mir, als sie der Mann sich. She says to me that she remembers me. Wenn wir haben gewohnt mit 12 Jahren zurück in ein Häuf auf Jesus Maria. She remembers me when we lived 12 years ago in one courtyard on Jesus Maria.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Karen. Susan, will you continue?
Frag ich ihr schon, was sie tut in Polanco. So I ask her, what are you doing in Polanco? Antwortet sie mir, sie wohnt da. She answers me that she lives here. Kann ich sich schon nicht einhalten? I can't hold back. Und frag ihr, and I ask her, Wie kommt etwas zu wohnen in Polanco? How do you come to live in Polanco? Antwortet sie mir schon baselig, angrily. Was wundert ihr euch also? What surprises you so? Früher habe ich gewohnt in Jesus Maria. Previously, I lived in the Jesus Maria neighborhood. Danach in Tel Aviv, Hippodromo, and then in Tel Aviv, Hippodromo. That's another Mexican neighborhood. I don't know why she mentions the Tel Aviv. Maybe the Jewish section of Hippodromo?
I don't know. Anyone here knows?
But Hippodromo is another neighborhood in Mexico City. Und jetzt wohne ich in Polanco. And now I live in Polanco. Ich stehe tun zu wohnen in Polanco und mir nicht. You think it's okay for you to live in Polanco and not for me? Wie lang ist, als ihr hat gewohnt in Jesus Maria? How long ago did you actually live in Jesus Maria? In drei enge kleine Zimmerlach, in a place with 3 narrow small rooms. Steht nicht so groß. Don't act so big. Mekanich, Senora Tinifotsky. We know you are, Senora Tinifotsky.
Susan, Susan, just a moment before you continue. I want to ask the gang, any questions, any comments until now before we continue? Yes, Rafael.
Yeah, I was just looking in Stuchkov's Oitzer, and he does have an entry for Shema Kolenu. And he has the expression Hastua Shema Kolenu. Here you've got a Shema Kolenu, and he puts it under the rubric of unexpectedness. So Anaya Shema Kolenu, an unexpected something or other, is apparently what Stuchkov understands that to be.
Okay, it fits here, it's an unexpected idea that he has to have the library.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other comments or questions before we continue? Okay, so Susan, go on. Sorry for interrupting, but maybe people have questions. Go on.
Suddenly sehe ich doch, als ich hab dort zu tun mit Proster Yidina. I see I'm acting here with a low-class Jewish woman. Sag ich hier a kalten adios und geh mir weg. I say a coldly goodbye and I get out of there. Komm ich bald daheim, beis a beleidigte. I come home angry, insulted, ungedrudelt, angry, und setz mich weg, a bräugese in der Sala, and I sit down angrily in my living room, my Sala. Der Mann meiner sitzt in a weichen Hotel. My husband sits in a soft sofa, or would it be an armchair?
Armchair.
Armchair. Und is vertieft in a Zeitung and is busy in his newspaper, reading his newspaper. Ich sitz aufgeregt. I'm on edge. Und betracht mir derweil die schöne manikierte Nägel meine. And meanwhile, I looked at my beautifully manicured nails. Oy, Rabbeinu Shalom. Oh, dear God. Sei nur, was ist geworden von der amulike Jente. Look what's become of the one-time Jente. Amul haben die Hand mit die manikürte, abgefarbte Nägel Gehorowit. And at one time, these hands, which now have painted and manicured and nail painted, Gehorowit worked hard. Gewaschen Wäsche worked, I did wash laundry. Gewaschen Podlagas, I wash floors. Wie is mir, my God. Der Ribbetep verbrennt sich die Finger. Oh, and I rubbed pots and I burned my fingers by an oven in the oven, the firecus, but I burned my fingers on the oven fires.
Okay.
Mir, my goodness. Und Heint, and today, finger wie bei a Pritzte, a Poritste. And now I have the fingers like a princess. Wie bei a Grafen, like a lady. Ihr seht Finger, you see these fingers? Schön wie Gold, beautiful as gold. Jente Tenefotsky mit upgefarbten Nägel. Here I am, Jente Tenefotsky with manicured nails, with painted nails.
Thank you, Susan. Barbara, would you share what you wrote in the?
Oh, I just was trying to find more information about Jesus Maria, and of course it was very popular to name Spanish settlements because the idea was to bring in the piety and the Christianity. But I found this one about American gold rush, and gold was discovered along the banks of Jesus Maria Creek, a tributary of the Calaveras River in the earliest days of the gold rush. And it says Jesus Maria, like many other gold rush era camps, soon had a reputation for lawlessness and was considered one of the areas wildest, with fandango houses, saloons, and gambling establishments catering to the miners, and numerous accounts of violence, robbery, fighting, and murders were recounted. How about that?
Yes.
Wow. Yashikoya.
Yeah, that's really a contradiction to the name.
After Louisa, I have a question.
Okay, so Beverly.
Oh my.
Beverly first. It's the order of what I saw. Beverly. Okay, so Louisa Refoel and then Mariv. Louisa.
Yeah. Sorry. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, I'm waiting. You just vanished.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, so now it's okay. I see you.
Yeah.
So
okay. Have we discussed the name Yenta yet? The name Yenta, which then became.
I think we did it last time, but you can say it again. You can talk about it again, no problem.
Well, it used to be a real name. In this case, is it a real name, or now it means a gossip? A Yenta is a gossip. So is this referring that she's a gossip, or that was her?
That's a real name, but it also refers to being a gossip.
Now you wouldn't name a person Yenta anymore.
Yenta is also a Yachne.
Yes,
that's better.
Yeah.
Yenta comes from an Italian Jewish name, Gentile, which was a nice name, Gentile. Which was the Jews who settled in Eastern Europe brought that name with them, and then it changed to something, not so good.
My mother's sister was Yente, but I never knew her.
Her name was?
Her name was Yente, yeah.
Interesting.
My mother was Dina Yente.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they said it as a name, but now it's not a nice name. It's not a nice word.
I think that now no one is calling their children Yente. Yeah, Louisa and then Refoel. Louisa?
Yeah, so I have a question about the section that we read the second ago about her driving around and running into this lady. So that would be her, this monologue of her talking to herself, thinking with herself, or talking to actually someone there.
No, an actual lady that she knew.
Yeah, she's talking to someone
Yeah.
that she knew from her
Okay.
old neighborhood.
Thank you.
From the old,
Yeah.
okay. Rafael?
Yeah, the word poritz and Susan read it both as poritzte and pritzte, and you'd expect poritzte, but according at least to the Bochner dictionary, it's actually pronounced pritzte, wife of a landowner or a noblewoman.
Okay, so why the change? Why the change?
No idea. Maybe it's poritz, pritzte. I don't know.
Okay, interesting. Okay, Mariv?
So I have a thought that might be a wild speculation, but Jesus Maria, I wonder if those were the neighborhoods that had a church in them. And you know, the Jews in coming from the old country, a lot of times they were, you know, sponsored or taken care of by living under some protection, and maybe they moved into that area, those areas, because there was a church, and maybe they thought that was a more of a friendly thing. I don't know. Just
okay.
Anybody have
Marie-
any ideas?
Marie, first of all, it's Mexico. Every street is a church. But second,
Yes, yeah, you're
second,
right.
I see Morty. Maybe Morty wants. Yeah, Morty. Morty?
Unmute, Morty.
Unmute. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I was going to say what Mina said. In every small neighborhood, at least in Lima, and I'm sure in every other Latin city, there was a church. So it was not the name because there was a church.
Okay.
Many of the neighborhoods had religious names. Like, for example, the area where we used to live before we came to Canada was called San Isidro, which is the name of a saint, Saint Isidore. So no, it doesn't have anything to do with the churches, because there were churches all over the place in every small or large neighborhood, one, two, or more churches. And in these countries, I'm not sure that the Jews would be very much protected by being near a church.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was an Inquisition still.
No,
going
no, no.
on.
That died 200 years ago. Disappeared 200 years ago.
Okay.
But still,
probably
not-
the names come from the times of the Spanish conquest and development of Latin America.
Right. Right. With the missionaries.
Yeah.
Okay. Any more questions before we continue? Okay, Rochelle, you see we don't
Yeah, I
see you,
see it,
we
but
can
tell
hear
me
you.
show me where we are.
I
Okay.
think you're Jacobito.
But Koba, Kokabita.
Okay, Morty, pronounce it like it should be.
Jacobito.
Jacobito.
And what does it mean?
It means little Jacob, like Yankel. Like you would say
Yes, my
Yankel.
son's name. Okay.
His name is Vinkl, so it became Jacobo.
In Spanish.
In Spanish, Jacobito, little Jacob, Yankel.
Jacobo, Jacobito. That's what
Okay.
she said.
Zog ich still zu meinem. Komm nur her, will dir etwas sagen. Little Jacob, come over here. I want to tell you something. Macht sich nicht hören. So he pretends he's not hearing. Der Schlamazel Miner, the Schlamazel mine. I'm not going to translate that. Und lehnt weiter and continues reading. Gib ihr Schein a Geschrei hoch. So I scream loudly, Yankel, Yankel, Pfeiffer.
Yankel Pfeiffer.
Vinkl Pfeiffer. I don't know what Pfeiffer means here. Pfeifen is to whistle.
Yeah.
It's his
Pfeiffer the Whistler.
name. His name.
His name, it's his name.
It's
No.
probably also, or maybe a nickname.
To
Okay.
pfeifen of something is to make fun of it.
Okay.
He's a pfeifer. He makes fun of everything.
Okay.
That's what I
right,
think.
That must be his nickname. Komm her, come over here. Der schreckt sich und läuft gier zu mir zu. So he gets scared or frightened and he runs over to me. Nimmt mir zärtlich arm and he hugs me.
Yeah, but zärtlich is like, you know, not kindly.
Tenderly?
Tenderly.
Tenderly.
Okay. He hugs me tenderly. Kommt mir in die Augen rein mit a sie schmeichele. Looks in my eyes with a sweet smile mit Liebschaft, with love. Punkt wie wollt mit mir erst Nächten gestanden unter der Puppe, just as if it was just yesterday that he married me. Was is dir Yentele? What's with you, Yentele? Epis bist du mir bräugis? What you seem angry. Weibele meins, my sweet wife. Was bist du azoi traurig? Why are you so sad? Neshuma meine, neshuma soul, my sweet soul. Teibele meine, my sweet bird. Was is there? What's the matter with you? Will du sollst mir etwas kaufen. I want you to buy me something. Sag ich ihm still. I tell him quietly. Gelassen. I don't know how to translate that. I know what it means.
What is gelassen?
Weary.
No.
What?
Weary.
Weary?
Ah.
Okay.
I think it's calmly.
Calmly, yes, calmly.
Okay.
Okay, quietly and calmly. Kauf mir etwas teure. Buy me something expensive.
Dear one.
No, my dear
Oh,
one.
buy me something expensive. Oh, that's
No, no, no. Buy me
Tire.
something,
buy
my
me something,
dear.
dear.
my
one.
dear.
Yes,
Oh,
there's a comma there.
Of course
Okay.
she wants something expensive. You will see what she wants.
Wundert sich. So he's wondering, kaufen, buy? Was soll ich dir kaufen? What should I buy you? Fehlt dir etwas? You're missing something? Hast a schön Haus, you have a beautiful house, a Kutsche, a car, brillanten diamonds, Diensten, servants, zwei kleine Hitler, two small hats, a
No, no,
Hinterle, hinterle.
dogs.
Hitler, two small dogs, I'm sorry.
Dogs.
A Carlton
Buffet.
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 buffet mit a roulette. I'm not getting that. A
cold buffet is like what you serve, like when you have guests and you put a table or chest or something out, I think, and you serve them, you know, hors d'oeuvres or whatever.
Okay, and a roulette, something
What
I
is
think
a
it means a
roulette?
lazy Susan. It revolves, maybe.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
And roulette must be a roulette wheel for them to play with or something.
No, no,
No.
a
A
lazy Susan
Susan,
makes,
as Barbara said.
Okay.
that makes more sense.
מן עגלה כזאת, נכון, מינה?
No, no, lazy Susan, no, Neely, it's like in Chinese restaurants when there is in the middle of the table.
מסתובב
Oh,
עם
like
Yes.
rolling, like it rolls around.
That's a lazy Susan.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but here I think he talks about עגלה כזאת.
No, 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 no. That's lazy Susan means yeah. Okay.
Wo soll ich dir kaufen, teure mine. Now, what should I buy you, my dear? Zog ich ihm schon zärtlich mit a weichen Kohl. So I tell him tenderly with a soft voice. Ich will Yankel, ich will, sollst mir kaufen a Sach, was keiner hat noch nicht. I want you to buy me something that nobody else has yet. Kauf mir mein lieber teurer Mann. Buy for me, my dear man. Kaufen mir a Colonia.
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 Colony?
Okay, go on another.
Okay. Git raptum a spring oif. So he awakens, or he kind of becomes alert.
No, he jumps, but what is raptum? I don't know. What is raptum?
I don't know.
I don't know. So he jumps.
Rapidly.
So
Oh,
he
okay.
jumps rapidly.
So he jumps rapidly. Wie as opgerichte und zerlacht sich heuer. So he laughs at her loudly. I don't know what opgekriegte here means.
Opgebriter, like he was.
Oh, like he was burned. Opgebriter.
Like he was burned,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, and
Like
laughs
what?
at her.
Like
and
what?
laughs at her loudly. Ha 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 ha. Ki. A colonia. A colony, huh? A colonia soll ich dir kaufen? That's what I should buy you? Ha 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 ha. A colonia gits ihr. Gits ihr. I don't understand gits ihr. Here. A
Get
colonia.
her a colonia, give her a colony.
Oh, all right. All right.
It's less like slang. It's a slang way of saying give her.
Okay, gets
Or
you.
maybe it's a Galiciana way of saying it actually.
Yeah.
Okay. Gib ich,
Yeah.
gib ich
Okay,
sich,
another. Yeah.
okay, gib ich sich euch a Stell auf und schrei sich euch. So I to stell and I shout and I
So I
shout
stood
loudly.
up. I'm standing up and I'm shouting.
And shout loudly. Was is das Fahrer Gelächter? Why are you laughing at me? Yankel Pfeiffer. Why are you laughing at me, Yankel Pfeiffer? Was hast du sich also zerlacht? Why have you laughed so much? Pfeifferuk. I guess that's the way of insulting him.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Rochelle. I see that I have here Morty and then Elaine. Morty?
Yes, in the previous paragraph, where it says gets here a colonia. It's probably a way of saying in a different type of Yiddish, like we would say "Seglissecher a colonia." A colonia she wants. A large farm she wants, or a large
Asphalt Rhein.
Siglissacher.
Or the Asphalt Rhein Colonia.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Elaine? Elaine, you're muted, I think. Yeah.
Can you translate gib ich sich euch a Stell? Is it a push?
No, I get up.
I stood up.
I get up.
Oh,
I stand up. I
Stell
stand up.
Gets
A
up.
Stell was what, because it's.
Stell oif.
Oh, so Ostell.
Right.
Oh, so the verb is
Stell oif. He
Ostell.
gets up.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, Rafael?
Yeah, I mistranslated Raptum. I just looked it up. It's I said quickly. It actually means suddenly, almost the same. Suddenly, it's a Polish word, raptum, and it means suddenly here. I suddenly jump up.
Jumps up. Okay.
He suddenly.
Or he suddenly jumps up. Yeah.
Yeah. Louisa? Yeah.
Now, what is opgebriter?
Saruf. Burned.
Burned. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
He jumps up suddenly like he's on fire.
Like he's on fire. Luisa, there's a lot of Spanish
Oh,
words here, so go on.
okay.
Und
Here,
yeah, go on, Luisa.
ich sag ihm bald in a weinendig call ongesagt mit Tränen. So I immediately, with a crying voice, answered with tears.
No, angesabt is that it's full with tears.
Okay, thank you. Full with tears. Hast nicht kein bisschen Rachmanes auf mir? Aren't you a little a little sorry for me? Du Shannon, what is it?
Schanevest.
Schanevest mit nicht. You Schanevest, I don't know what that means.
Are you stingy with me?
No.
Shanavan is to cherish. Do you not cherish me?
Du Shanevest
I
Yeah, Morty, to respect, to cherish, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
because they used to say it in my home, yeah, Shaneven.
Okay.
I just didn't know. I didn't know. You know, sometimes when I'm tired, I forget my English. So.
Kann schon nicht aushalten. I could not contain myself. Kann schon mehr nicht wohnen in der Kolonie Polacco. I can no longer live in the Polacco Colonia. Kann nicht, I can't. Do wohnen schon alle Schleppers. Here live already all the Schlepperkes, right? Schleppers, alle Schnorrers. All of the Schnorrers. How do we translate?
How do you?
All the losers, all the the ones that are trying to make themselves big in society.
That's what she said to the friend when she said, "You live here too?"
Yeah, and she's talking about the other rich people.
Right.
Right. Wer hat noch etliche pesos, who have a few pesos, kauf mir a terreno, buy me.
No, kauf sich. Whoever has a few pesos can buy himself
a plot of land, terreno in Spanish. So whoever has a little money buys himself a terreno, a piece of land, a platz, a place, a house in Polaco, a house in Polaco, other in Lomas. Lomas,
another neighborhood.
Yeah, I think it's Lomas, isn't it Lomas de Chapultepec? If I remember correctly. But anyway, it's another neighborhood, I think.
Probably another fancy neighborhood.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Polanco it was still pretty fancy when I visited there many, many times.
But this is a joke because she doesn't say Polanco, she says Polaco.
I know, it's a joke, of course. She's playing with the word. Will antlaufen von dannen. I'm going to run away from here. Kauf mir a Kolonie, buy me a neighborhood. Du hörst? Do you listen? Ich will wohnen eine allein in a eigener Kolonie. I want to live alone in my own Kolonia. Jo, gehe sich schon kaufen a Kolonie. Yes, I'm going straight to buy a neighborhood. Ihr wird sehen, you will see. Jente Tinipotski wird noch haben an eigene Kolonie. Adios, adios. So it says, yes, of course. Where was I? I'm going to buy myself a Kolonie. You will see. Jente Tinipotski will still have an own neighborhood. Goodbye, goodbye.
And that's the end of this. Can you, I want to ask you something. So.
Should I stop share or do you want to keep
stop the sharing, yeah.
Okay.
So guys, you see, that's the monologue of the wife. Now following It's the monologue of the husband. Do you
Oh,
want
good.
you?
This
So
is
there is the monologue of the husband is following her.
That's
So I
Oh,
thought,
good.
this
I
is
thought, yeah,
charming,
it's
very
not as
charming.
funny.
I enjoyed it.
She's funnier. She's funnier, but you can see his point of view,
That's
and it starts
fantastic.
with buying a colony, of course. So I will send it to you Thursday, Friday, something like this. Depends on when I get my internet. Okay, so
Okay.
Of course.
so we will do the husband, and only afterwards we will move to Argentina.
Fantastic story.
Any comments? Any questions? Anything
I love the
about?
way they say adios, adios. I think it's hysterical. But once she met a friend that lives there, she says, "How did you come here?" That's it.
Yeah.
Once Jensen met her friend that said, "Oh, how come you live here?" She says, "Don't remember we lived together somewhere else." Uh-oh, not good enough. Not good enough.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious, and it is. Yeah, I see that some people. Yeah, Rochelle,
It's so true.
and it's
you
true.
know,
Exactly, it's true.
It's true, and it feels very Jewish, very Yiddish, and I'm wondering if it would be as funny in English. I don't think so. Anybody else have any idea?
Okay, so it was translated into English. It was translated. There is a book by Alan Astro, from
yeah.
San Antonio, and the book is called Yiddish South of the Border. And that's where I took it, you know, I read it, and then I went to the Yiddish book center, and I took the Yiddish one. But he translated both of them. So the
And it
husband
translates
and the
well?
wife.
And it
Sorry?
translates well?
It translates well, but it's not as funny.
Yeah,
It's
that would be
just
my
it's
thought.
just not as funny.
Funny, yeah.
So
It's
you know,
because it's
wait.
because the culture
Yes.
of the English speaking people is very different, and you wouldn't find that familiarity with which the Jewish woman talks in the English language, I think, or in the
Yeah.
English mentality.
Like
Yeah.
when I did my show, I would yell out, "Halt deine Pferden."
All your horses.
It took a few minutes until it's utter quiet, and then they would start to laugh. But it doesn't have the same. I love turning English into Yiddish words. Yeah, I would get a kick out of that.
Anyway, what I wanted to say that you can on Amazon sometimes they let you read a sample. So when you read a sample, you don't have to buy the book. You can just read a sample of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's how I read both the wife and the husband. So you don't have to buy the whole book. Just ask for a sample. That's you can read it. But I will send you the Yiddish because the Yiddish
Better
is
in
far
Yiddish. Better in
it's
Yiddish.
far more better. It's far more better.
You
Okay,
know,
so
it reminds me of when I saw Fiddler in Yiddish. I've seen Fiddler in English a dozen times, you know, a lot of times. The only time I laughed, really, really laughed, was when I saw it in Yiddish.
and cried as well, probably.
I cried, right, exactly. It never touched me as much when it was in English. It just didn't. And of course, the subtitles were there. And I could see that the subtitles just don't do it. You know, they just don't do it. And you're absolutely right. It was like really laughed out loud and brought tears to my eyes. Never with the English version, never.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Bonnie and then Louisa. Bonnie? You're muted, Bonnie.
Yeah. So I lived in a Jewish neighborhood. My parents bought a house when I was 8 years old. It was a brand new house. And I would say it was, middle class. And everyone, at least on our side of the block, was Jewish, except we had one Italian family who managed to blend in. And people, even from within the community, but definitely from outside, used to So the neighborhood was called Oxford Circle, but they used to call it Oxford Cycle. And years later, I met a new girlfriend, taking some classes together, and she lived in another neighborhood, which was kind of a mixed neighborhood. And she said to me, "You are so smart." She said, "I can't believe you come from Oxford Circle." I mean, her neighborhood used to look down on our neighborhood like they were better than we were. And she was just amazed. I was sophisticated. I was smart. So, yeah, I mean, it exists, I guess, everywhere.
Yeah.
Das ist alles.
Okay, I see that Marif sent, oh yeah, that you can read. And the whole book you meant, Marif, in English or in Yiddish?
Let's see.
Because in Yiddish, there's not a problem. The Yiddish Book Center has it.
It looks
Okay,
like it might be in English.
In English, you think?
Yeah.
I'm not sure because
It's
still
translated. I just saw it. Yeah, translation in English.
Okay, so Marif
Yeah.
put it, you can have it, yeah. Louisa.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that it's a very unusual story because of the point of view of somebody so rich, because usually we hear from the other side that, how hard they always had it and how difficult life was and how poor the Jews were. And that's more often the Jewish story. And of course, here she made it all the way up, but she still cannot forget where she was coming from, really. She has a very hard time accepting her new reality. But I think it's an extraordinary point of view. And I also wanted to say that on the subject of translation, that I think that one of the factors in the humor is the use of the Hebrew language and the Hebrew constantly, the Hebrew metaphors that would be very difficult to translate. Like if you're, like we were discussing the Shema Koleinu, for example, you need a whole paragraph to explain one word. And usually that inclusion of the Jewish culture elements that are known to us, or even the inclusion of Hebrew phrases, makes it very, very funny to a person who can read it in Yiddish.
Well, they are not known to us, they are known to Morty, and he tells us.
But I find that the best example of what you're saying, Luisa, is you find it in the works of Sholom Aleichem.
Exactly.
Because he is profoundly knowledgeable in not just in Yiddish culture, but in Jewish religion. Exactly. And Talmud and Gemara, and the mixture of the word, not just the words, but the concepts that he puts in are what make. For example, I always remember at one point Tevye goes on a trip and he's on his horse and buggy, and it's in the morning and he hasn't had time to Lake Tvilin, but he's saying the Amida by memory. And in the middle of the Amida, when he says one word, immediately he starts arguing with God. For example, in part of the Amida, he says Shema Koleinu, talking about Shema Koleinu, talk about our prayers. And there's one that is called Refuah Shleima. And he talks about why can't I have, or my wife can have complete health, why am I praying if you cannot give me? But if you don't know the prayer, then it doesn't really make that much sense. You may understand it, but to understand the whole thing, you have to know the prayer.
Yeah, and if I may add to that, to what you're saying, is that it is the difference between authors such as these that are mixing regular language with very, very highly educated, high register language. So that's what makes it so funny. To me, it's the mix of the regular everyday blah, 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 and then suddenly such an educated, elevated, registered, used in conjunction with that lower level, so to speak, secular, not secular, simply lower, what is called in linguistics, a lower, say,
mundane
class
chit-chat.
register, middle class register, meaning that you're talking in a certain level and your educational level is so much higher as a writer, right? In the case of these writers.
And also sometimes they're poking Shalom Aleichem as well, poking fun at Judaism, you know, in a gentle, kindly way, but you know, where if you know what's going on, you know, he's like, why are you stopping in the middle of the prayer and arguing
Exactly.
with God? I mean, is that the way you're supposed to say prayers, you know?
Exactly. Exactly. That's the humor. That's exactly
it makes it so much richer to
that's
know
the
all
source of
that.
the humor, and these things are very, very difficult to translate.
If you
Okay,
don't know
guys.
the culture, you cannot translate it because it's more a feeling than
Exactly.
anything else. But we have to remember also that in the Staatlich in Europe, while the people were not educated in our understanding of education, they were relatively educated in the religion.
Yeah.
Most of them, at least, even the lowest of workers, at least used to go on Saturday to the synagogues between Mincha and Maariv and listen to somebody explaining part of the Talmud.
Of course. And they would all have known about the Shema Koleinu. All of them knew that.
And those were things that stayed with the people and people used them.
Right. Right.
I was just listening to the JBS station, and on there was a woman who has left the ultra orthodox, and she said all her boys were never taught anything of science, math, geometry, nothing like that. Everything from 7 in the morning till 9 o'clock was just to be a learner, just to study Torah. So they're not fit to work. The wives have to work to feed the family.
Yeah, it's still that way today. Yeah.
In a way, yeah. My grandfather was like that. My bubby had 9 children, 8 girls and 1 boy, my father. And she supported her. All the women were very strong women, very strong. And my father was Adel Gepatchkit. Terrible. My mother used to say, I have 8 mothers-in-law, not 8 sisters-in-law. He was very, very, But
guys.
my grandfather never worked a day in his life. But he promised her when he died, he would give her half his mitzvahs. And if you know what that means, to give over half your mitzvahs is a big thing, a very big thing, because that's all you could take with you are your mitzvahs. And she died before. And my cousin Lily, who lived to 109, Mirchishenbai and Sala, Gesinte Hate, she said, we're not going to bury Bubby until you hast jetzt sie gesagt, halb deine mitzvahs. And they made sure, made sure you go over and give her half the mitzvahs. And he reluctantly, because he never worked a day in his life. Yeah.
Okay, guys.
That's
Fun
great.
as it is, I have to go.
Have a good safe trip, Minna.
Thank you.
Okay.
Next
All the
week,
best.
I will see you from Houston.
Good.
Okay.
Thank you, Mina.
Good
Thank
trip.
you,
Bye.
Minna.
And I'll send you the news story. Bye.
Tia Tova.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Nobody wants to go home. We want to stay and talk.
Sorry,
Yes,
I have to go.